Why are you wearing the same shirt?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, no.
I'm back.
Yes.
Back.
Yeah, so we're actually at the Hard Rock recording in Tampa, recording these just to kind of get the channel going to give you guys some information. So today, welcome to Vending for Voyages, by the way. Today's video is actually going to be about the pricing traps. Okay, how to price your goods, price ceilings and price floors. So what is a ceiling and what's a floor? Well, look up.
Obviously,
there's a ceiling.
there's your high and your low.
Yeah.
Yep, there they are.
So, why do you need to understand the differences in price ceilings? I think we could all talk about the floor. Like, that's really in all reality, you shouldn't even be at your pricing floor.
No.
Meaning, hey, if you haven't looked at our cost of goods sold video, go look at our cost of goods sold video and you'll kind of understand where your floor should be. And it should be at a bare minimum, we do 2.85 times whatever our cost of goods are. That really is where you should start at. Can you price things lower than that? Yes, you can. Should you do it on a consistent basis? No, unless it's a loss leader for an AI vending machine, meaning a smart cooler where someone opens the door. If I can get them in the door to buy string cheese for $1 or 50 cents, and they're going to buy 4 other things, then I'm going to use string cheese as a way to get people to open the door.
Which we do.
Which we do.
String cheese for only $1, and while you're here, grab a cold soda.
So, ultimately, what does your ceiling look like? Well, let's talk about it, okay? We know that ultimately the price ceiling is how much is somebody willing to buy a specific item for before they stop purchasing, before they say, I'm not going to buy that, it's just too expensive. Well, one, it's going to be there's 2 factors, there's 2 primary factors. Factor number 1, location. Where is the machine at? If it is in a blue collar industrial warehouse, the price ceiling will be lower. It will be really in line with your local convenience stores.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because those folks use convenience stores on a consistent basis.
Good morning, Mark. Hey, May. Back again. You know it.
You know it.
If they're not going to your vending machine, they're going to get in their vehicle, drive down, and buy that monster at the convenience store. If you're priced over the convenience factor, meaning I can walk into my break room and purchase a soda or a monster from your vending machine for at the same cost or maybe slightly higher than what it would be for me to drive down to the convenience store to get it, then you're going to use the vending machine.
I can't believe that the price of Monster is the same as the convenience store.
Yeah, I know. Why would I waste my break to drive to the store?
But if you price it where it's just too inconvenient and too expensive, then guess what? They're going to get in their car and they're going to drive to that convenience store.
I'm gonna get my snacks.
So it's a convenience factor. What does that look like? Well, a few things. One, never price the next whole dollar over for an item. So if something is sold at your convenience store for $3.99, we'll use Monster for an example. Monster is typically just shy of $4 for the convenience store. That means in a blue collar environment where there's a break room and your vending machine sits in that break room, you should not price that item over that $4 mark. Once it goes over $4, doesn't matter if it's $4.01, doesn't matter if it's $4.99. They're going
$4 total. As soon as they see that number from the 3 to the 4 change, they won't purchase it.
Yep, they're going to get in their car and drive the 8 or 9 minutes down the street and get it from there. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, it occurs.
No way I'm going to buy that. It's over $3. Sounds silly, but this is the way people think.
So then also, where should you be at in a different type of location? Like, say, a really nice single apartment complex where it's all vertical apartments. your pricing should be higher. And the reason why it should be higher is, one, it's a convenience factor.
Mm-hmm.
People are already there.
Yeah.
One. Two, you're selling probably more items or different types of items. Three, those folks would love to just stay in their pajamas, go downstairs, and get the particular item they need and walk right back upstairs.
I want a frozen burrito and I don't have any more. Welp, I'll walk downstairs and get one. Like my pajamas.
That's not going to be true for apartments where they're broken up into multiple, what they call cottage apartments or things like that, because that means you got to put shoes on.
I never wear shoes because they make me fall down.
And putting shoes on is what I like to call cost money.
Doors on the outside kind of effect. Not like a hotel where the doors are on the inside.
So if it's something where people can stay in their pajamas and go get their snack or drink or even their small amenity or medicine or whatever you may load in your machine, that pricing can be higher. Okay. The other thing is hotels, airports.
For instance, example is when we were at Rock the Universe just recently at Universal, we saw a lot of vending machines in the parking garage. They were selling Coke bottles for $4.
Well, and ultimately you have no other option. So
and that's the thing. You have no other option. It's a convenience. So either you're going to pay it or you're not going to drink it.
And just a small asterisk, you're not going to get those accounts as a small vendor.
No.
It won't happen. Those are owned by places like Canteen, where they have large contracts for multiple areas.
Yeah.
So don't get locked on that.
Yeah.
Side note.
It's a corporate contract.
So we've talked about location premiums, like, hey, where it's placed at, but let's also talk about, we talked about the round pricing a little bit. But another factor that you should look at too is, what items can I sell for less? And we talked about this a little bit. What items can I sell for less in an AI cooler specifically that I can get them to open the door and raise the price of other items? So this is especially true for frozen goods if you sell frozen goods. So ice cream is a high margin item. You can charge upwards of $4 or $5 for a bar of ice cream and people will pay it. But how do you get them to open the door to get that ice cream? Well, you sell things like mini burgers
or corn dogs.
Corn dogs for, really in all reality, not much over what they cost. One, they stay good for a long time. Two, people see that as a way. People like the idea of treats. They're willing to spend more for something that is considered a treat. So where do you price it at? Well, you have to look at the psychology. Think about what the average cost or what you'd be willing to pay if you were standing in that exact position. So most folks are not willing to pay for frozen goods over $5 for single unit items. So things like Hot Pockets, especially the big ones, burritos, cheeseburgers. If you price under most conditions over $5, and that's almost regardless of where you're at in the country, I'd say maybe less California and New York. People are not going to pay it.
I'm not paying over $5 for these.
So you have to be aware when you purchase items, if you can't price sub $4 for the majority of your items, guess what? You're not going to sell it. It's as simple as that. Vending is considered a value proposition from a convenience perspective. So you have to give people, not only do you have to give them quality and consistency, you have to give them some sort of value. That value is calculated by the convenience factor, but also the pricing of the item. If it's cheaper to just drive down the street and get it, and it's not worth the difference for the convenience, people are not going to pay it. So pricing floor. Don't sell at your pricing floor, meaning don't sell at your COGS multiplier, whatever you decide that to be. Most vendors will recommend at least at a bare minimum 2 times your COGS. I'm going to say you should be higher than that because in all reality, not only the cost of goods high, but now just transportation and everything else is much higher. And it continues to go up as time goes on. Price yourself where you're reasonable, but you're also in line with market or slightly above market, but you're actually providing service. This business is about service. So your pricing is a balancing act, right? Set your floor to protect your profits, but respect the ceiling of your location. Get it close, but don't go over. If you need a cheat sheet for pricing, leave us a comment down below. I can kind of give you a cheat sheet of where we typically price things at and how you should navigate things. We'd love to talk with you down in the comments about where you are having issues with pricing. Pricing is a struggle. A lot of folks are going to, when you move into a new location, they're going to complain about your pricing.
Yes.
Do not lower your prices right off the bat. If you lower your prices right off the bat, the expectation is set that you're going to actually do that. And that's going to hurt your bottom line.
Well, and the thing I would suggest too is like because we travel a lot, we stop at, there's a particular Wawa we stop at on the way to the port, and we always we stop and charge our cars or fill up with gas, go to the bathroom, and then we'll take a gander around the store of like, hey, what are the prices here at this Wawa? We'll even do it in our hometown where we're servicing people. We'll go to the 7-Eleven. Just your convenience stores, and then even like while you're walking around at like Walmart or Publix or your local grocery store that you have in your town, because I know a lot of people don't have Publix. Just look at those things. Like go shopping, go price shopping, and then go to your box stores or wherever you're going to actually procure your goods from, and do your due diligence of like, okay, well, would I pay this for that? And if you're cheap, then you got to think about somebody else. Ask your friends and family, how much would you pay for this particular item? Just kind of do your due diligence on the front end of it, so that you're not stuck in that place of like, oh, hey, $1.50 is too. We paid $1.50 before for Snickers. $2.25 is too much. How do you handle that situation at that point? It's like, well, hey, the Wawa down the street is charging $2.75, so $2.25 for you is a steal.
I think the other thing too is it depends on the type of machines you're using. If you're posting pricing, we found that posting pricing creates its own adversities.
Problem. Yeah.
So the beauty of AI coolers is sure they're posted, they're on a point of sale on the front.
Yeah.
But people don't look, and so there's some beauty to that of that impulse buy. And so obviously if you get too high, people are going to get their receipts and they're going to see it if they're using the receipt functionality on whatever cooler system you're using. So you have more price ceiling, I would say, on an AI cooler.
Yeah.
You can charge a little bit more. Part of that is the convenience factor. The secondary point is it just costs more for the technology as well.
Yeah.
So it's a twofold thought process, but don't be afraid to start out at higher prices than what you would typically think, and I would not lower them right off the bat. Keep them within reason of your market, but understand who you're serving. If you're serving blue collar folks that know the prices of your goods in the local area, then I would be pretty consistent with what those are. If you're in a premium area, then I would charge more. If you're in a assisted living facility where there are folks who struggle or don't have a lot of cash, you're clearly going to have to put items that obviously have lower cogs, but also that you can still make a profit in your machines.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about capacity a little bit in that as well. But the biggest thing here is pricing floor. Don't price below your pricing floor. That really should be 2 to 2.5 times. Do not price over your price ceiling, and that's something you're going to have to test. Till next time, make sure to leave us a comment down below. We'd love to answer some of those comments if you guys have any questions about that pricing, ceiling, or floor. And don't forget to subscribe. Until our next voyage, thanks for watching.